Hello, fellow foreigners. It's Emily and it's Peter, and we're not here discovering China. We're living in it. And I guess it's time that you just go ahead and subscribe, because we're the only ones. We're the last China vloggers. Not because of greed or racism or disease or anything. It's just simply we've got it all. We have it all. It's just from you're brilliant. I'm a white middle-aged male, so you will believe everything that I say, or at least through her mind. So subscribe, hit those buttons. We're the hardest working people on the internet, probably. I can't imagine there's anyone that does more work than us. And that's why you're gonna listen in 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, so life keeps ticking away. I, inspired by Visions of China, made a comment about yogurt. I made some homemade yogurt. So thanks for the suggestion. It came out great. It turns out you could just put milk in a crock pot, heat it up, cool it down, mix in some yogurt, let it sit, blammo.
And yogurt.
Then yogurt. And it tastes like
yogurt.
Super fresh.
And creamy. Fresh creme.
And we're gonna put it on beans tonight. Like a sour cream kind of thing.
It works as sour cream. It works we're gonna put some fruit in it.
Yeah,
anything.
Yeah. It
put
can
it in
do
your
anything.
hair.
You really can put it in your hair.
It's a cure-all.
Yeah. So that was really exciting.
Thanks,
and
Visions.
Then the other exciting thing is that 𝗖𝗵cie comes straight to the door now, which is really exciting. That's the first time since January. Starting in January, they had to stay outside the front gate.
In case you don't know, 𝗖𝗵cie is our delivery system that we all go by. So that was, stuck at the door at the front gates.
Yeah, so the convenience of takeout is lessened a little when you have to go. Because it's not just downstairs. It's downstairs and out to the front gate of our compound.
So, elevator, building front.
Yeah.
Across the compound, and now it just appeared one day.
Yeah. Just
knock.
Right at the door.
Right out on our door, and there was a man.
Yeah.
Or a woman. Probably a man.
Usually a man. I've had women delivery 𝗖𝗵cies.
Sometimes.
More so during the coronavirus. Ooh. I feel like I've had more women.
Do you think we're trying to get rid of women?
Yeah, I think women are just, more resilient, I guess. Or more desperate. They're taking those shifts. I don't know.
Only speculation.
It's irresponsible to speculate, but they're coming in the door. It makes me happy. They're so convenient. And then work is still getting pushed back. The new date is May 6th. And so just recently, this week, I had to fill out one of the surveys. In the past, I had mentioned that the kids are all filling out surveys of their, recent medical past. And so I had to go into work and sign a thing that says, I did not have a fever for the last 2 weeks. I checked off each individual day. And the person I lived with did not have a fever. Check. I didn't visit any of these specific areas. I don't have friends who came to visit from other places.
Anything about pets?
Nothing about pets, because I do not think we know of the virus spreading through our pets.
More speculation. Some people think
if we did have a pet pangolin, maybe.
Or a pangolin or a bat.
We would be arrested. But yeah, so that, and I think everybody, Chinese and foreign, has to fill those out. And our friend Andrea, who is Italian, hello, ciao. He said that he might have to fill something like that out too. He doesn't teach in a school. But I asked specifically about you, because you are also a foreigner. Some say you are Uncle Foreigner.
The original Daddy-o.
That you didn't have to fill one out yet. We'll see. We'll see what the police say. So that's, they're
usually very nice to me.
They are usually very nice to you.
Again, I have the privilege of, in Brazil, I've been called the porcelain man. It's amazing what this lack of pigment can get you.
Fragility. But yeah, so that's just some examples how our life is slowly but surely returning to the Chinese standard of normal. And I stress slow return to normal because it seems like some people in America are trying to jump the gun. It doesn't work like that. You can't just all go back to work tomorrow.
But they do love guns.
Sorry. They do love guns. That's true.
We do love guns.
We do love guns.
We're America. Well, we have to, solidarity and stuff, I think, is how patriotism works. So
that makes me say, what?
What?
Let's play. Let's play our favorite, the nation's favorite game show in which we examine sentences I've learned in Chinese language lessons and try to imagine why you would need to use them. Are you ready?
Hit me with the first one.
Okay, our first one is 你收旅行支票吗?
Tripiyama.
Yeah, I wrote it.
That sounds Japanese.
I wrote it wrong, but I think I said it right. Which means, do you take traveler's checks? And I want to stress, I'm not making fun of an old textbook from like 40 years ago. This was in an app.
Oh,
because
weird.
I would like to.
Because the first question is a traveler's check.
Yeah, and
those
that's
exist.
Traveler's check.
Was it issued by O.J. Simpson?
Yeah, traveler's check was the language, the target language there. 旅行支票. And yeah, I haven't used traveler's checks since the 90s.
Yeah, somewhere in the 90s, mid 90s maybe. I think I went to Florida and it was like such a big ordeal to go to the bank, and people were like, even then they were just like, what are we doing with these things? I don't.
Oh yeah.
I was like on the run or something.
Wait, you use traveler's checks within the United States?
Yeah.
Is that like common practice?
I don't know. I don't know what else I was doing.
Were you money laundering?
I might have been running away to Florida.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Maybe you were running away from Florida. Because even by the time I did study abroad, bank cards were all in network, so like you could just withdraw money from your own bank.
Right. Well, the purpose
from
is supposed to be so that you can't just walk around with money. Right?
Yeah, I guess so.
So it's for safety. So
yeah, because I guess if someone's they're so long ago, but if someone stole them, they could not treat them as cash, but you yourself are allowed to treat them as cash.
Right, because it's like a signed money order to the bank, so to verify.
But I guess you had to like go to specific places to cash them in.
And so now we just have phones that say that you are who you are and your bank is what it is. And
well, you just use your bank card.
Yeah,
all over,
or
like
whatever.
Yeah.
Anything else
So
other than like
I
an extra weird piece of paper that you carry around. Because when you ran out of them, you had a booklet of them, just like a checkbook.
Right.
And so like if you've written too many checks when you're on vacation, I don't even know what I mean.
American Express comes and claims your soul. Yeah. But so this, I think, must be for a time traveler. That's the only.
Yeah.
Who else would need that sentence?
Right.
I mean, maybe if you deal with time travelers from the past, you'll need to understand that question, because I like to think of these lessons are teaching you things to say, but also things to listen for. So if you are running a boutique that caters to customers from the past and they keep trying to give you traveler's checks and you have to answer, no, I do not take your traveler's check.
Which, I mean, is a fascinating idea for a business. First of all, I'd read the book.
Yeah.
Whatever this movie is, I want this story of like an
Here's
international time traveler.
Well, I'm about to build on it. So, because I think if we've got time traveler and you've got people from the past coming to your boutique, you also must have the ability to go into the past, so you could set up your own exchange of traveler's checks.
So we're getting into some kind of like all those time travel stories is like, whoa, who won the horse?
No one talks about who pays for that.
But the who won the horse race or the ball game or whatever all those old timey.
So you collect traveler's checks from the past and bring them back into the past. I guess is how that works.
And then apply them to this app.
Yeah.
Here in China.
Well, I mean, that's where the speculation aspect of it, of like betting on horse races, is you could go back to different times when there were better interest rates or exchange rates. I don't know. I know nothing about currencies
or horse racing.
So if you do, I'm going to need you to consult on this script. But do you want to hear our next sentence?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. 这个词不难写 which means this character is not difficult to write.
The Chinese character.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, is it difficult?
Well, I mean, it's just what this character.
Maybe we could throw up a little character with that. Oh, it's any character.
Yeah. So you're saying about this character here is not difficult to write. I can think of two people who need to say that.
Okay.
One is a Venus student who's doing their work, and maybe you're complaining, oh, I can't get this character, and they'll, that character's not difficult to write.
Yeah. I learned that when I was in 3rd grade.
Yeah. So that, all right, shut up, Joey. And the other one is a scolding teacher. If you're like, I'm having trouble, and they're like, this character's not difficult to write, which, I mean, that's not a very good teacher.
That's a terrible
You're not
teacher.
supposed to be so discouraging. They tell you that, not to be so discouraging.
Your school tells you?
No, just they.
Or any kind of
This character
teacher
tells
book.
you not to be so discouraging.
Well, I mean,
it's an insufferable person would tell
right,
you
yeah,
that's not
if somebody
hard.
is actually, like, if they show you a really hard one,
Yeah.
then they're just an ass.
Well, there is like a famously, I'll try to look this up and
That,
put
like,
it on
most-
screen. That's like 52 strokes or something.
Right. It's
and
that,
it
looks
describes
like a
some kind of
it looks like that
noodle.
Chongqing Palace.
Yeah.
Shopping center thing.
Yeah, it looks like a Stratego game or something. And I think it's some kind of noodle.
Because that's people love to. It's a noodle.
I think so.
I see like lots of YouTube people like, especially like if it's a white guy that walks around China, a big place, and like gets Chinese people to like try to write it, and then they don't write it, and we all laugh
and
at
that
it.
he also could use that sentence. 这个字不难写. So again, insufferable
There we go.
people.
That's for that guy.
Yes, for
that one
guy
vlogger
who goes around showing off that he's more Chinese than the Chinese. Who, that archetype's been around since I think China and foreigners have been around. So.
That's Marco Polo.
It's
that's
a long
how he started
legacy of people
Silk
going
Road
around
trip.
saying that character's not hard to write.
So, do you think anyone would hate me for doing that if it was like a Ren? Like, it's not hard.
If you
Come
go
on.
around it. I mean, I admire your confidence. Well, because in general, I mean, there's I guess two situations where you would be telling people, oh, that's not hard. If someone's like asking you for a favor, it's like reasonable to say back, like, yeah, that's not hard.
Yeah.
Or if you're being a jerk, to be, that's not hard. You can't do it. What are you, a baby?
Right. Well, I'm gonna try not to use it anywhere just because I don't want to be an ass.
Yeah. Don't go. Everyone learns at their own pace. That's again what they tell you in school.
As a teacher, you know these
They're
things.
very wise. Yeah.
And now you are.
And now I'm very wise.
What else you got?
Our
Wise.
last
Wise ass.
our last sentence today is 抽写对他根本不算什么，他都习惯了. Which means drawing blood for him is nothing. He's used to it all.
Is that on some kind of allegory or like? I mean, is it literally like at the doctor's?
It's physically where there is some ambiguity. It could mean you are the person getting blood drawn, or you are the phlebotomist taking the blood. So that's again, there's a very natural person there in the phlebotomist. Like if you're praising his skills.
My favorite movie.
He's so good at drawing blood. Which, when you've run into
Starring
enough
Keanu Reeves
people
as the phlebotomist.
if you run into enough people who are bad at drawing blood, you do appreciate the ones who just get business
I
done.
am not, apparently, of all the millions of times I've been to a doctor's office to get my blood taken here in China, I'm the least easy. I guess I've seen worse. I've seen people that have, unfortunately, black people that have had
Oh yeah,
stabbing,
the nurses,
like the nurses here, like that.
here
that
just like can't
find
cope.
I mean, they can't find mine most of the time. I usually go home with like a good couple of holes down my wrists and on both arms and stuff like that. But there was that one time.
Yeah, it was very disturbing that it was all the African people in line just had like Band-Aids and blood everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't like it's not that like the nurses here are like completely inept or anything. It's just it was hard
I might say the nurses who work at the international checkup offices are not great at it, because when you were in the hospital, they could get veins out of everywhere. Like
they found veins I didn't even have.
You needed a lot of intubation.
Well, they're
is that what that's called?
I'm not sure, but they're at the front window, so it's something that's like you probably.
But they should be better at it than they are. I'm sorry, it's not the most politic time to talk down healthcare workers, but those ones in particular are not very good at drawing blood, and it is their job. Because maybe
not all of them. Well, but we have seen enough of them that it is a little. Yeah, like it is. It was definitely a bunch of times it's been annoying for me, because the next day you're all black and blue in all kinds of weird places, and you're just like, well, I know next time. I mean, that's one of the things, as fearful as you can be I can be of going to the doctors. Yeah. It is something like, well, the next couple of days I'm going to have these arms that just do this. Like,
yeah. So I think you do want to know the praise for the guy who's good at it.
Yeah.
And then like, 根本不算什么 is like a fun thing to say. That means it is nothing.
Yeah.
And then, but it also could be a patient who's very good, like, at getting their blood drawn. I don't know. Is that an area
skill
to be
that you
skilled?
can?
I guess there are
if
people.
You really actually know when to squeeze.
Yeah, you got
and
the veins. There
like
you go.
Peter Parker of getting your blood taken.
I mean, people, I guess, get squeamish about it.
Oh, that could be, you could be talking about, like, most people come in here, and these people, like, kids are crying.
He's so used to it. He's so cool. Why is he so used to it?
Yeah, why does he get so much blood taken? He's got a secret storage bank.
Yeah,
somewhere.
Or, like, he has, like, extreme drug testing at his work. Is that a blood test? Sometimes it's a blood test, right?
I don't know. Usually a pee test, but...
Yeah. I don't know. I've never actually gotten a drug test. Except for that one time in Lijiang. But that was a pee test. But yeah, so he could be a super cool patient. I'm a super cool patient with throat cultures, because I various ailments in my life have led me to get that done a lot. And I do remember a doctor being like, "Do you mind if I let my intern do it? You're so good at these. She needs a little bit of practice." And she did not do a good job, the intern. The doctor did say the phrase, which I do not know how to say in Chinese. I should. If the patient is gagging, you have to take it out. So there's that.
That's something that a lot of people, like, in all fields complain. Like, if you are actually good at a thing, then you get to be the test bunny for people to actually learn.
Oh, yeah. Your reward for being good at stuff is, like, having annoying people test you.
So that's something that's, I don't know, I guess it's worth complaining about.
Yeah, or
if you don't really want to help the rest of the world get better at what they do.
From either side, though, being good at the process of drawing blood as the donor or recipient is worthy of praise. So good job, dude.
You ever have any cool doctors, like a really cool doctor?
Like Fonzie?
Yeah, I would.
He just thumps you on the back.
And you're okay.
Hey. I don't know. I like
leather wearing doctor.
My doctors, I've generally had pretty good doctors.
My physical therapist here.
Your physical therapist was
cool.
pretty cool. Yeah.
He definitely had all his interns and helpers and whatnots. They are all I mean, that's actually one thing. I guess a doctor is pretty cool around the office when you have all those interns around behind you.
Yeah.
You've got to
it's hard not to swagger a little bit.
Yeah, because I mean, even for me, it'd be tough of all right, so we're gonna go through physical therapy, and then he comes in with his entourage, and you're just oh, he's so cool.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just really I'll work out.
And even that time we ran into into him at the mall, he still had all his interns with him.
Snap.
And he came over, and they all
hey, check it
Little
out.
ducklings in his wake. Whoa, he speaks English too.
He's so cool.
He's so cool. You also had a doctor, I don't know if you remember him. This was not at a stage you were remembering stuff. But he had like a Barry White, like super low voice. And so he'd like say stuff about what you're doing. And I'd just be
Oh,
like,
I'm so sad I missed that.
everything's gonna be
Especially-
okay.
That deep voice is so reassuring, like
Yeah.
in any language, but
It just, I mean, that's gravitas.
yeah, it's like something you hear like in a movie or something, like you expect, like
It's so strong it knocked your light
It
out.
just killed my
I don't
light.
know what happened there. Well, do you want to say
I guess that's what happens when things get too powerful, like the amazing ability that we have to control the internet with
to
our.
control the lights around us.
That's how talented we are. We working so hard. We blew a freaking fuse. Oh my God! Say something.
Noodles to you!